associated with this stream, and we will do our best to answer them, although we will not be able to answer all of them. Thank you for your understanding. I would like to start off tonight with the current acreage and containment numbers for both the river fire and the Carmel fire. First, for the river fire, as of right now, we are at 47,773 acres and 15% contained. On the Carmel fire, we are at 6,695 acres and 7% contained. Next up, we'll speak with Ops Section Chief Mike Wink.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to this live presentation, and I'll go over today's operational assignments and what activities occurred today. So we're going to start here in the river fire. We're going to start in the north end. So crews continue to work along River Road in these housing communities off of Indian Springs, Pine Canyon, Los Plomos, and Crown Point, strengthening and reinforcing lines. There is a line on all of this area, and crews were very aggressive, mopping up all from Pine Canyon all around the top here to the Toro County Park, and then back around this backside that interior islands burned, and but that's a good thing because that way that fuel has been removed. So we're strengthening those lines. Coming back around here into where the critical infrastructure and communications repeaters are, those efforts were ongoing and continuing. A lot of extra effort in here today, mopping this piece up and getting all those hot spots diminished and put out because of a wind event that I'll talk about in a few moments. Coming around the bottom, paralleling Carmel Valley Road, those efforts continue to bring the fire's edge into the grass and put dozer line on it. Crews are successful down here into where it says Division F, bringing it down into that area, creating black line, which we call control line. So those efforts went very well. Coming around back on River Road, back this way, kind of towards Gonzales, down this direction for reference. Crews went up the canyons and piece is the number one priority for primary line, secondary line, and contingency line. Number two was the Carmel Valley Road side. Number three was the Carmel River side down here, because it'd be a big challenge if it gets across the Carmel River. So all of those things, good efforts were done in there. Interior islands and fuels were removed, and we'll talk about the why these were those priorities. I'll talk about we're preparing for tomorrow. They're predicting a change in the weather. That change will bring winds that'll transition from the west, then coming from the south, so from the bottom up, they come from the south, and then they could transition to the south and then come from the south and go to the southwest. Here, I just went over here, here, and here, because they're going to be wind tested tomorrow, so we're preparing for that. Also, the weather folks are going to talk about some hazardous weather with lightning coming in. They'll give more details, but we're going to have surge capacity resources identified in all areas of the fire, that if we have increased fire behavior, we have those surge resources immediately available. We can assist all the local cooperators with new starts in the general area of the fire. That's why some of those evacuations are ongoing, are in place, not ongoing, in place. So we're preparing for those hazardous conditions. So that's an operational briefing of today's and current operations, as well as what we're preparing for tomorrow. So thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we'll have Monterey County Sheriff Steve Bruno.
Good evening, everybody. So today the Monterey County Sheriff's Office completed evacuation orders in zones 17, 18, and 19 on the Carmel fire. So those zones have been evacuated by the Sheriff's Office and also cooperation with surrounding law enforcement agencies. I'd like to start by thanking all of our Monterey County surrounding law enforcement agencies who have come out to help the Sheriff's Office. We have more troops coming in from San Mateo County and from other regions to come help us, and their help is very much appreciated. Zones 20 and 21, these are northwest zones of 17, 18, and 19. They're still under an evacuation warning. So I'll show you on the map. So today, from Laurellis Grade, if you follow Laurellis Grade to Carmel Valley Road, all this area north of Carmel Valley Road and south of Laurellis Grade is under an evacuation order. If you take Carmel Valley Road, actually Carmel Valley Road is down here. This is zone 17. Zone 18, you have the village, which runs Carmel Valley Road and everything west of Carmel Valley Road up to Black Mountain Trail up in here and down to where Laurellis Grade meets Carmel Valley Road. So if you draw a straight line down here, this is all under an evacuation order. Everything south of Laurellis Grade is under an evacuation order. This yellow portion of the map here is under an evacuation warning. These are zones 20 and zone 21. So zone 20 is Laurellis Grade north along Highway 68 to York Road. It does not include York Road. It goes south of Highway 68, and it curves around Tank Road up here and up towards Tehama. So there's a portion of Tehama right here that's under an evacuation warning down to Carmel Valley Road, and everything north of Carmel Valley Road is under an evacuation warning out here. If you go draw a line across Carmel Valley Road from Laurellis Grade, this goes to Robinson Canyon Road where it meets the Peak Trail here, Red Trail, Vista Cielo, on up Rancho San Carlos Road, up to a portion of Valley Greens, the southern portion of Valley Greens. So that kind of gives you an idea where the evacuation warnings are right now. Again, when you get an evacuation warning, that's time to get everything together because the weather is really getting unpredictable and fire conditions. So your things should be packed and you should be ready to go. Now for the river fire, we have issued an evacuation order for Zone 14, which is from Puma Road on River Road, down to Fort Romeo Road, down through the Mission, down to Arroyo Seco Road. It runs along Arroyo Seco Road, down to where it meets Elm Avenue, and continues along Arroyo Seco Road up to the government camp, or up to Carmel Valley Road, excuse me. That it only goes up to Carmel Valley Road, and then Carmel Valley Road is the western portion of this evacuation order. So everything east of Carmel Valley Road, south of Puma Road, River Road, and south of everything that's under an evacuation order already, we have issued a new evacuation order in Zone 14. If we go further south of Arroyo Seco Road, and if you continue along Elm Avenue to Central Avenue in Greenfield, and along Central Avenue, so the portion south of Arroyo Seco Road and south of Elm Avenue, west of Central Avenue, all the way down to Halone Road, along Halone Road to where it meets San Lucas Road, and everything west of Halone Road is under an evacuation warning right now. So the bigger populated areas that includes, are of course, the southern section of Arroyo Seco Road, Sycamore Flats, Miller's Lodge. Those are all under a warning right now. But you're so close to the evacuation order, I'd be prepared. If you live along Arroyo Seco Road, just be prepared to go. There's only one way out of there, and that's down Arroyo Seco Road into Elm Avenue, into Greenfield. So the other populated areas are Release Canyon, a lot of the ag land up along Central Avenue. There's all your ag homes along Central Avenue, and down through Pine Canyon and King City. That's all under an evacuation warning at this time. So just be prepared. Due to the weather, we don't know. We base our information on what CAL FIRE gives us, but just be ready to go if you're in section Pine Canyon and Las Palmas area. We didn't want to interrupt the ag operations, and we're not going to do that until CAL FIRE says it's not safe anymore. So that's the latest update I have.
Thank you, Sheriff. Next up, CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 1 Incident Commander, Nick Truax.
All right, good evening. Nick Truax, Incident Command Team 1 Incident Commander. I'll go through the numbers again that were stated at the beginning as I give the updates for the fires. Again, the river fire tonight sits at 47,773 acres and 15% contained. And we're up to 11 structures destroyed. That is the reason for that ticking up today was just we're getting better damage inspection done. We're about 33% complete with our damage inspection. So you'll see those, you may see those numbers tick up over the next couple days due to better intelligence coming in. Evacuations continue to expand, as you heard from the sheriff today. Currently on the river, for the river fire, we have 6,305 residences under an evacuation order or warning. That's approximately 20,917 people just for the river fire. On the Carmel fire, sitting at 6,695 acres, 7% contained, up to 33 structures destroyed on the Carmel. Evacuations, 13,261 residential structures are threatened. That's 43,761 people under either an evacuation order or warning. A little bit of other information for everybody. We've talked about the current weather and the weather that's coming in overnight. So we'll be switching around from kind of the normal marine intrusion with the remnants of Hurricane Genevieve coming up the coast tonight, setting up offshore, is going to kind of turn around and give us a south to southeast flow as we go through Sunday and Monday. So that'll kind of change our wind direction. The winds won't be super strong just from that. However, we are also currently under a fire weather watch for thunderstorms, which will be overnight turning to a red flag warning for dry lightning in the area. And our big concern, other than the new starts, move over or near one of our incidents and cause downdrafts, which the downdraft winds can be anywhere from 45 to 60 miles an hour, and it can send and get out of that area. We have requested additional engines for that, so we're hoping to see that come in. I have talked to one of the local fire chiefs, and he's told me that all the local fire departments, fire districts in the area that still have equipment here would be at our disposal when needed in their areas, and they plan to keep extra staff on because they have a shift change coming on in the morning. So that's good news if we aren't able to get additional equipment in. Just some other fire updates. The Czu Lightning Complex, that's Santa Clara Unit CAL FIRE. That's what SCU stands for, if anybody has wondered. 291,968 acres, 10% contained. There's 20 fires in that complex. They've had 5 structures destroyed, and California Incident Management Team 6 is in command of that incident. The Czu Lightning Complex, that's the Santa Cruz CAL FIRE unit. Czu Lightning Complex is 63,000 acres, 5% contained. 20 fires in that complex, 97 structures destroyed, and California IMT 3 is in command of that incident. The Dolan fire south of us here is 14,000 acres, 0% contained. On the Los Padres National Forest, the Venata Wilderness area. And California Interagency IMT 2 is in command of that incident. Okay, I think that's...
Thank you, Chief. We're going to go ahead and answer some questions, but first we'll go ahead and give you an opportunity since we do have a reporter in the audience.
I guess my first question is, should there be more lightning strikes over the weekend? How much would that hit you guys in terms of resources?
So the question is should we receive additional lightning strikes going forward through the weekend? How would that affect our existing resources on the incident?
All right, so currently we would definitely pull on any available resources left for initial attack. Right now, 96% of CAL FIRE's engines are committed to other incidents, so we'd really rely and draw on local government agencies that are in the area. We also have a plan in place tomorrow where we'll have pre-identified resources that are assigned to this incident that will go to new starts. New starts would be our priority for our resources that aren't actively engaged in structure defense or life safety defense.
Did you have any more questions?
You know, I don't know. I guess I missed it at the beginning, but I guess we've got people watching the Facebook. But the progress of the fire, the direction either of you guys.
I'm sorry, one more time?
The progress of the fire, which direction it's going for Carmel.
Sure. The question is what direction is the fire currently spreading in relation to the communities?
On the Carmel fire today, we didn't experience any fire spread in any direction. It's within its control lines today. It did have interior burnt lines being burned out and interior fuel, so it did have fire activity, but it did not spread control lines. I'm going to turn that over to the sheriff. Thank you.
So the current evacuation orders are because of the weather coming in, the fire conditions, and it's on the advice of CAL FIRE, what they predict the fire might do. So it's to protect life and property, or to protect life. So when we give like I said earlier, when we give an evacuation warning, it's time to start packing all your belongings and be ready to go. So when that order does come down, and even before the deputies get to your doorstep, you should be in the process of leaving. It's time to go.
Thank you, Sheriff. Next, we'll go ahead and move into questions that have been submitted via Facebook and Twitter. First question, right back to you there, Sheriff. We are not yet in any danger, but how can we find out which evacuation zone we live in?
So that's a great question. To find out which evacuation zone you live in, just go to www.co.monterey.ca.us and search evacuation zones and just check which zone you live. I'd like to clear one thing up. In our new evacuation zone, down in the southern portion of Monterey County, Zone 24, there's 2 pine canyons in this river fire. The Pine Canyon where the fire started up near Las Palmas, but the Pine Canyon that's west of King City, that's now in an evacuation warning. They're in the warning stages now, so I just wanted to clear that up. I don't want people in Pine Canyon, Las Palmas area thinking they're under a warning now. We're going to be talking about 2 Pine Canyons now. So the Pine Canyon down near King City is now in a evacuation warning.
Okay, next question. Have firefighting planes and helicopters been able to operate in Carmel?
We did have our aviation resources were on the incident today. We have resources assigned to both fires, as well as resources available from the region that we all share and come when needed.
I got another question there for you, Chief. Next one is, what is the fire currently doing in relation to Highway 68?
So Highway 68 here at the top by Incident Base, Toro County Park. So this piece 2 days ago is when it made its advancement to this area. It has line all on it. We've been actively mopping it up on a 24-hour basis for 2 days. This is very strengthened lines. So what you can't see on the detail on this map is while it looks like it's right close to the highway, the park is anywhere from 200 to 300, 400, 500 yards wide between the highway and the base of the foot to toe of the slope where the edge of the fire is being mopped up. So you can't see that in here. So there's that big green buffer zone where we have base camp. And then you have the highway itself, 2 lanes each direction with medians and shoulders on each side. So we feel this is very hardened. We don't feel that Highway 68 is threatened at this time.
Next question, Chief, again, is for you. Can you please show, again, on the map, how the wind is expected to pass through the Carmel area and affect the fire?
So currently, the normal wind pattern here in this area of Monterey County is in the afternoon is more of a westerly influence over these areas of the fire in this section of Monterey. So the coastal influence will come from the west, so it'll blow from the west towards the east, and we've experienced those. However, with the tropical low pressure system that's going to sit off the coast, as that spins, it will transition those winds that will come from the south to the north, and then it could transition from the southeast, treading to the northwest. Okay, and that is what could bring unexpected fire activity, as well as the lightning that Chief Truax talked about, and that may or may not have precipitation with it.
And then one more question. How close is the river fire to the community of Soledad?
Soledad is much further to the south and east. Sheriff, do you have a? Yeah. The sheriff confirms that it is an extremely long ways with a lot of agricultural lands, and it's on the other side of the highways as well. So we don't feel that that is a concern.
Can I have the mic? Do you want to stay? Chief Truax, these next couple questions are going to be for you. First, what kind of out-of-state and federal assistance are we receiving?
Okay, I'll start with the federal assistance. Both fires have received what we call an FMAG for emergency assistance. So both that is due to the structure threat and the threat to infrastructure. Also, just of note, for the state of California, this isn't for this fire, but for the state of California, we've requested 375 additional engines from out of state. Currently, 45 engines are in state and being assigned to incidents. 33 are still en route, and then we've still got the pending request for the rest. So that's what's out for that.
Okay. This next question is about specific communities here in that are being affected, the Las Palmas 2 and Las Palmas 1 communities.
Okay. We don't plan to change any or take off any evacuation orders until after this weather event. So we'll see. You know, it's this event starts tonight, goes through Monday to Tuesday. Again, it'll just be timing and stuff. So we really don't have a good date, but I can tell you it won't be at least for another couple of days. But after that, operations, the sheriff, the power companies, county roads, anybody that has interests in there, we will all meet and make sure that everybody's ready, and then we'll coordinate that repopulation as soon as we can. We want to get as many people home as we can as quickly as possible.
And final question, Chief, again, is for you. Are there any additional resources ordered specifically for the wind?
Yeah, we've ordered additional engines for tomorrow. Again, we're competing with a lot of fires. One thing that I didn't mention earlier was there's another complex that I didn't talk about up in the Sonoma Lake and Napa area. Those fires, that's the second now largest fire in California history that is burning there. The fire is burning in Santa Clara that I talked about a little earlier. That's the third biggest fire in California history. So we have two of the largest fires in California history north of us that are burning. So there's a huge competition for the resources that we have. I can tell you that we are fairly lucky, I guess, in the sense that we do have quite a bit of resources compared to some of those much larger incidents, and that's due to some of our infrastructure and stuff that is around here. So did that answer all of it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief. That's going to be the final question that we're going to take this evening. And for tips on how to prepare yourselves and your families and your homes, of course, against wildfire, please visit readyforwildfire.org. And to register for evacuation alerts in Monterey County, please visit Alert Monterey County. To register for evacuation alerts in Monterey County, please visit alertmontereycounty.org. And as always, you can find updated information on CAL FIRE San Benito Monterey units